Where do we go, my lovely? Oh, voice isn't 100% back yet, but we are slowly getting back from death's door. Of course, we have the Carolina Panthers in Germany. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it a million times beforehand. This is Germany's punishment for both World War I and II. You get the 2-7 Carolina Panthers. You get the 2-7 New York Football Giants. You get the 2-7 Carolina Panthers. You get I have feedback coming on there, but you know what? It could be worse. Not really. Well, it could be worse. This game could be at MetLife. I love this question right from Jersey Beamer, right off the bat, 8 minutes before the stream even started. Sup, Tim? You going to renew your season tickets next year, buddy? We said it once, we've said it twice, we've said it a million times. Great balls of fire. I have no clue. No clue. Maybe. I don't know. Dom, are you around? Because Dom, if you're going to be around, I wanted to have Dom on because Dom had some news. So Dom, I'm not going to email you the link to the chat. I'm going to put the link to the chat in the chat. So you can jump on board because Big Dahmer's got some news. I got some news too as well. We have a new sponsor, our partner, Giso Fitness. So you look out for that Giso Fitness video coming up next week. Gonna need something to bide my time, to bide my attention between here and the New York Football Giants. This is what worries me about this game. This is what worries me. Giants 2-7, Carolina Panthers 2-7. Both terrible teams. Both terrible teams. I think the Carolina Panthers are a little bit more terrible. Two things worried me: that we lose. That's a bad situation right there. Or we win, and we literally have to go 2 weeks hearing how at 3-7, the New York Football Giants are gonna have to turn this shit around. That's what we're gonna. That's literally what we're gonna have to hear. They could turn this shit around. They're 3-8 now, 3-7 now. No, we predicted them to be 2-7 going into this game. We gave them this as a win, but at this point in time, I don't know. I cannot tell you. I cannot fathom the situation that they're going to be in at this point in time. And all you can do is win. Is screw up your quarterback situation even more than we've already screwed up before. I was talking to James Williams earlier today, and we both said the same thing. The worst situation that can happen for the New York Giants is the fact that you let Daniel Jones play and he gets hurt. And that injury clause kicks in. Because, you know, the likes of Joe Shane, well, some people say I'm a genius, but can you really screw up 5-7? Yeah, Joe, you can. We said that a million times before. But you get him hurt, you lose all that cap space, you're going to have to figure out a way to move on to get some draft capital. But here's the other problem we have. Because I haven't been around because I've been sick. What the fuck were they thinking at the trade deadline? Seriously, what the fuck were they thinking? This is Dom's new pose. I like this Dom's new pose. I like to refer to this as Yippee-ki-yay Dom. What's up, Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker?
Hey, mate, how are you?
Dom sent me a text message. When was it? Today. And Dom's text message was that he reckons. So I thought to myself, how many UK Cowboys are there that he's reckoning? Dom's moseying up to the bar, goes, because you know what? I reckon I'm going to have to get me a shot of sarsaparilla.
I'll tell you what, though, for Sunday, sorry. How about them Insomniacs? Because that's that's going to be a cure for a minute. Carolina versus the Giants.
You are over in the UK. Of course, you're not in Germany. What's the thought process going on over there right now in your neck of the woods in reference to, because it's usually a big thing when the NFL comes to Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, what's up, Johnny ABA? What's going on in Europe right now? What's their thought process here with this clash of the Titans?
I mean, my overwhelming thought is, what did the Germans do to deserve this?
World War I, World War II. I've already spelled it out.
Two good reasons.
This is their punishment for that. You start world wars, you get the Giants-Panthers.
80 years on and still being punished.
You're still being punished. You're still being your feet held to the fire. I mean, is there any like buzz? I know when I've talked to you before, like when the Giants were there, I think the Patriots were there at one point in time. I don't remember. You said there was a pretty good, there was a pretty good buzz around the city, around the town. But I mean, is there any heat from this game, or is it just the fact that they're starved so much for American football?
Yeah, I mean, when the NFL comes to the UK, it's huge, right? You can feel the buzz in London. There's a lot of excitement. UK fans get really excited. I think there probably will be in Germany, I would imagine, right now. I think UK-wise, not too excited because, A, it's not in this country. It's still a couple of hours flight away, although I wouldn't be shocked if a few people have gone over. But I think the overwhelming thought here is the Giants-Panthers. It's not exactly, the Chiefs against the Ravens or something, is it?
Now is this game going to be on local television where you're at?
No, not for us. No.
No, so you're not even getting the game.
No.
So
no,
you're so
we're not being punished.
We're so here in the States. We're getting the game.
I mean, you can get the game in the UK. It's not. You can get the NFL over here, but it's not on sort of regular TV.
Oh, so it's
on pay-per-view.
And
I don't imagine many people are paying to watch it.
So you're not going to head out to the pub and watch the game?
If it's on, sure, but I don't think it will be.
Why is the paint drying channel still a big channel over in the UK?
Yeah, and it's expecting more views this weekend than the NFL.
Oh my God, Dom, tell me something good about the Giants,
though. We're halfway through the season.
Not yet. You gotta remember this record is 17 games. What is your thought process about the Giants right here? What we're 2-7 against 2-7. You got Bryce Young, who won last week. You got Daniel Jones that didn't do it done. What's your thought process here? What do you think is going to happen this vaunted Sunday morning or no afternoon?
I mean, God knows. I mean, it's not going to be a classic. I suspect it's going to be a game of who makes the least mistakes. To be honest with you.
You mean who drafted the least worst quarterback? Because that would be the biggest mistake. Because both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be prepared to give up on Bryce Young yet, but it's not looking good so far. If you offered me Bryce Young or Daniel Jones right now, I'd take Young because it's his second season and it's Jones's sixth. We know definitely what we got with one. I suspect we know what we've got with the other, but there is at least some uncertainty there. But yeah, I think it's going to be a game, unfortunately, where the least worst team will win. I think what will be interesting is whether we can continue to bring the pressure and the rush and how Bryce Young copes with that. If he copes all right with that, or we can't bring that pressure, then you suspect that Carolina will be able to put up a few points. But I think our defense is going to have to really, really play well. And then we're just going to have to rely on the running game to score points, and special teams. So I don't think it's going to be high scoring.
One thing you haven't mentioned was the Brian Burns revenge game.
Do you think that's high on his list?
No. They might be pissed off that they sent him to the Giants, but then the Giants gave him a load of money. So I mean, I guess I would still be happy about that.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't do too bad out of it, did he? Financial security for life.
He's got financial security for life. All he's got to do is play in New York for like 3 years, and then he can go someplace else and maybe win a ring or win a playoff game, or I don't know, have a meaningful game outside of the month of October.
And there are worse places to live in New York.
No, I don't know. There's some bad places. New York's not what it used to be. Daniel Spard says, happy Friday. Tim Guilty says, feel better, Tim. I am feeling better, actually. Thank you very much. Zach Attack, trade Brian Dable to Buffalo for a can of cake and some Skittles. Yeah, we're going to get into Brian Burns in a minute.
Yeah, but if you put Skittles in Coke, it's probably more explosive in our offense.
Yeah, I was getting Dom was on roll today. The Dable offense has scored less than Jason Garrett and Mike Kafka. Yes, they have. Jersey Beater says, Tim, have you seen how cheap Giant tickets are for the rest of the home games? Let me talk to you about that real quick. I didn't want to get into that. I pay a shitload of money for season tickets for the Giants. And because of where I sit and everything else. So they literally, when I have to pay for season tickets, they drive a Brinks truck over and I go to my garage because I'm like Scrooge McDuck and I just shovel money out of my garage into the truck and then they drive away. That's what next time they're going to need to use a gun. But I go on second market because I've been selling the tickets left and right. But I look at the games and Jersey Beaner's right. There's nothing. No, I mean, even games that you would think would be like a high priced game. It's like I would lose so much money just to sell the tickets.
I was going to say, are they paying people to come now?
They're going to, if you lose Sunday, and I say you because I'm not part of you anymore. I'm not part of we anymore. I'm not part of the Borg. I'm not part of the collective. I'm a Packers fan. But if they lose, does Brian Dable get fired immediately?
It's a possibility.
We already saw what happened in the Saints game.
It's a possibility, but I don't think so. I think they'll ride him till the end of the season.
How much more could we punish Germany besides this game? We could fire Brian Dable and leave him there.
Well, or we could fire Joe Shane.
Joe Shane evidently's got the fucking golden ticket. And I don't know what Willy Wonka, I don't know what for. I don't know why he gave Joe Shane the freaking golden ticket, but there's a golden ticket there somewhere with this guy because he's got to have photos of something or something because, everyone talks about Tyrone Tracy. I could mention Deontay Banks, who was supposed to be the second with the savior. I can mention Kayvon Thibodeau. I can mention Evan Neal. I can mention Bellinger. I mean, I have a myriad of people that I could say is the problem and the issue. And it all starts with the general manager. But John's got an announcement, but let me get through some of this. The Panthers, what do we got? Peace, Kevin. What's going on, Kim? Jake said it's a must-lose game. I think so, too. The Giants will effing win a few more games, 12 pick, and be able to get our guy quarterback purgatory once again. Keep telling people this, and I know you guys don't want to hear it. Daniel Jones is going to be back next year. Even if he's not injured, he is going to be back next year because if you even draft a quarterback, you're going to still say, I need a bridge quarterback. I don't agree with it. I don't believe in it, but you guys are going to be stuck with it because right now, my guy, Julian Love, he's not playing. He's throwing an interception a game now, but he's got Malik backing him up. So, we had a bad week last week. That's okay. Xavier McKinney.
My guy, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, man. Jordan Love. Now, listen, if he can get his interceptions under control, we'll be all right. We got that running game now. Our defense is solid. We solidified it with a great pickup in reference to the secondary. I mean, come on, man. It's one of those. It's one of those things you got to be excited about here, in Packer Nation.
Hey, judging by the colors I'm wearing, I'm all on the Pittsburgh train.
I was going to say you are on the Pittsburgh team. Hershreal says, Tim, a Giant loss this weekend would cap a glorious week. Actually, it would make me laugh. What's up, Hirsch for real? What's up, everyone saying hello to each other? AB, Johnny ABA, we got to you and said hello already. Hirsch said, DJ is going to get blitzed. Couldn't resist the pun. Thank God the Panthers and Giants is early this morning. Don't have to watch the trash. Someone asked me, are you going to watch the game? I said, I might not be even fucking up yet. I am not going to make a special. It's a Sunday. I'm not getting up early on Sunday.
It's 9:30. How late do you get up?
It's 9:30. Brunch doesn't start till 10:30. So I got to get up around like 10:15. Roll down to brunch, and then I don't know. Cartoons might be on. I got a lot of important things to do on Sunday. Might rain. The paint over there is still drying. I might have to. I might have to rake the yard. I don't know. There could be a lot of shit going down on Sunday. Problem is Carolina defense is ass. Yes, Carolina defense is ass. Mr. McCormick says, hey, what's going on? Douglas says, hey, Tim, I have a bad feel for the German game. This is probably the second worst thing to happen to Germany since the 1940s. Everyone's got to stop stealing my line. The Giants need to lose the game to ensure they don't get the number 1 draft pick in 2025. They need to move on from Jones. 6 years is enough of this shit show at QB1. Dom, if let's say, for sake of argument, the Giants lose on Sunday. Daniel Jones is 18 for 24, 175, 2 touchdowns, rushes for 50 yards. Do you bench him the next game?
I don't think it matters whether I bench him or not. I mean, he's not going to be benched. He is going to play. So I think it's going to be irrelevant.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is Daniel Jones is so bad, he's unbenchable.
I mean, I have a feeling we're going to win on Sunday. I mean, it would be the most Giants thing to do. A couple of people have mentioned it already. But, you know, hey, we could get a top draft pick and we could get a new quarterback, although I'm not quite sure who we take at this moment in time. But yeah, we're going to do something daft and get the number 8 pick or something like that, won't we? I mean,
we'll do something. We're the Giants. We'll do something. No, we're not the Giants. We're the Packers. I mean, no, we're not the Packers. I don't know where the fuck I am.
We're the Steelers.
We'll do something stupid.
But no, I don't think. I do not think that Jones will be benched. And if he is, I mean, who's coming in? Drew Lock. Brilliant. I mean, right now, I'd probably give Drew Lock a chance over Daniel Jones, but you know, or Tommy DeVito. I mean, it's you know, I'm not knocking Tommy DeVito. He's the third string quarterback, but you know, who's coming in? Like, it's not like we got, you know, Josh Allen or, you know, Lawrence back there, is it? I mean, we haven't even got, you know, the porn stash, you know.
Well, I think the Raiders would give up Minshew. I think if we asked them nicely and said, hey, can we have him? They'll be like, sure.
I don't think we'd have to ask that nicely, but, you know, yeah. I mean, look, you can do worse as a backup than Gardner Minshew, but he's a backup quarterback. He's not a starter, but nor are our starters, right?
I would say our starters aren't starting. Our starters aren't starting yet. Johnny ABN says 3 years and Shane has combined to show us he's below average GM. Yet you get another year. Shane is now Daniel Jones of GMs. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep, man. Philosophy Stoner says we might be missing one of our safeties in Pinnock. Well, I don't think we're going to be missing them because the safeties haven't been playing well without that pass rush. The Giants have Tim's information.
I didn't realize we had safeties. I thought we were trying a novel approach without bothering.
We do have a safety. He's in Green Bay. Oh, and he's also in Seattle. Todd says, cut Jones, take his phone, wallet and passport, and just tell him good luck. Well, if we did that, we might as well just send him to Dom's house. Well, tell him to go, because you have that thing where you can go anywhere in Europe, right? You don't need a passport.
No.
You don't have that thing? I thought you had that.
Yes, but last time I checked, the UK had left the EU, and that is no longer an option for us.
Ooh, look at you, Mr. World Atlas. Yeah, it's in the EU.
But yeah, in the EU, if you've got some, essentially, if you're driving there's no border, you can just cross.
You can just cross. That's what I thought. You know, I'm educated. I got a high school.
But the UK, obviously, you do need you do need to pass border control because we're part of the EU. I mean, there are borders, to be clear, but you know, you could drive from Germany to France, no problem.
All right, well,
but you can't get to the UK.
All right, well, we'll send him over to France, and then he can take a plane back. I wanted to have Dom stop on real quick because Dahmer has a little bit of announcement, and I personally think it's a good announcement because I've been telling him I tell him he should be doing shit like this for a while now. But Dom, go ahead. You have the floor, and you're not that far away from it.
Hey, I fell over twice tonight. But yeah, I swore I'd never do this because I swore I'd never get that annoyed with people spouting nonsense and factual inaccuracies and swinging left and right on opinions. Anyway, I've got annoyed, and I am now going to start my own YouTube channel covering Arsenal, which are a English European football. We would call it football over here, soccer over there, club, which will be launching in the next week or so. So for the 0 people watching this that might be interested, I am starting my own channel.
I'm actually very surprised by the number of soccer fans that we have.
So yeah, if you're interested in soccer, it's going to be called, what the hell? I really should know what it's called. It's my own channel. Arsenal Domination 84 84, I think is what it's called for the handle, but the handle is just Arsenal domination. Small I, big N.
The 84.
Because it was the only way to get the Gmail account to set up the channel.
Oh, okay. All right. Because my new YouTube channel is Tim's fucking awesome 1000. Didn't know anyone else knew.
Yeah, I've done a couple of videos for a couple of other people. It was quite good fun. It seemed to go down well. So I was like, let's give it a go.
You're on the Gooner Show. What is it called again?
Gooner Gathering and True Gooner.
So Dom has done some videos already. So if you're looking for something to watch in reference to Arsenal, see, look, I said that with an accent. I was going to say hockey because Arsenal sounds like a good name for a hockey team.
There you go. It was the old. It's got a cannon on the badge, hence the Arsenal.
Listen, when do the Arsenal play?
We're playing Sunday. Funny enough, at the same time as the Giants-Panthers. Oh. I know which one will be more exciting.
I was going to say I know which one might even be a higher scoring game,
which would be unusual for soccer.
Oh, not really. So when Dom gets all that information out, we're gonna post all that shit for you.
Well, that's very kind, Tim. I massively appreciate that.
Well, you massively put up with all the shit that I put you through. So, so I figured it'd be a good idea. Going back to the Giants, what the hell is wrong with Deontay Banks?
I mean, you've got to hope it's a sophomore slump, but he seems to be. He's struggling.
He's struggling, and I'm more concerned that he's struggling. And I don't think it's a word, but I'm going to use it attitudinally.
Well, exactly the word I was going to use. Well, no, because I was going to use English, which is attitude. It's the attitude that concerns me more than the performances.
Attitudinally is a word.
Is it?
Yeah, I just said it.
And
we all know when I say something, it's law. He never had a problem at Maryland. He didn't have a problem his first year under Wink. One of the things that I mentioned previously when Wink left, that his style was more conducive to Banks' style of play, which is why, if we remember, basically Wink gave Shane a bear hug in the draft room when we picked up Mr. Banks. And I kept saying that now, and I have to admit I was wrong about Shane Bowen. He's adjusted his style to his players. He didn't try to fit him into his system that he ran in Tennessee, but I still don't think his system is conducive to a true cover corner, a true shutdown cover corner. And I know that's weird to say, but he plays a lot of zone, or he did play a lot of zone in Tennessee, but we've noticed when the rush isn't getting there, like in the last couple of games, we've seen guys get behind the secondary with the Giants. Now, my thing is this: if you watch Banks play, he's never in horrible position, but he also always seems to be a step behind.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about Banks overall. I think Banks is a good enough player to adapt. Is it the system? I don't know. I was just going to make the same point as you did, that he has adapted to the players he has rather than just run the same old that he used to run. But Banks is undoubtedly struggling. I think Banks is still a good player. I'm not going to worry overly about him. But what is worrying, to your earlier point, is the attitude. He doesn't seem happy. And when a player's unhappy, then it can impact performance. And I wonder if that might just be the issue rather than anything more than that. But if the current regime stays, how do you get him happy again? That's the multi-million-dollar question, right? And Banks should be your true shutdown corner. He should be a cornerstone of this team, and he has a quality to be that. But we're not seeing it this year. So that's a concern. But I think it. I don't necessarily think it's a system. I think it's sort of general happiness, and that's where the attitude's coming from, But to quote his former mentor, there are worst places to be. We could be in, 7-2. It could be somewhere that's 2-7 right now.
Right. We're currently 6-1, and there's currently worst places we can be like 2-7. That, of course, was a wink when over in Michigan. Talking about the fact that he's no longer with the Giants. Kareem, what's up, my brother?
Oh, he didn't mention the Giants. He could well have meant Carolina.
He's I don't think he's talking about Carolina. How's it going? It's going well. Of course, Kareem jumped out to the live stream the other day. It was over a week ago now. So him and his buddy came out. So I appreciate that, as always, helping out on the channel. What about Brian Burns? There's a lot of things about Brian Burns. This feels like a Drew Lock game to me, says Zagatai. Gary says Giants must tank for at least 2 years because our gas, including Gettlebum, destroyed us. Let's see here. Bunch doesn't sound like watching the toilet bowl in Munich. Brunch brunch is better. And if I go to brunch, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to the Shannon Rose in Clifton, New Jersey. They have it was French toast and something on their menu.
It was all going so smoothly until you forgot the menu.
Actually, I need to remember the name of the partners and the sponsors. That's what I forgot. I couldn't think of the name of the bar. I probably should remember their name. Speaking of someone attitudinally, and again, that is the word. Speaking of an attitudinal issue, what about Malik Neighbors? Malik does not seem happy. He does not seem joyous. He does not seem filled with this thought process of how wonderful it is to be in New York, New York. He's leading all rookies in receptions and yards, but he's only averaging 10 yards a reception. The average pass play to him off the line of scrimmage is only 6 yards, and he's only got a 4-yard gap.
That's more than I thought. I thought it was about 4.
No, it's 6.
I didn't know Jones could throw it that far.
I think it's 6.6, and he's got a 4-yard yak. So he's not getting the ball downfield. He is matriculating the ball downfield with numerous targets, but you saw during the game and halftime that he's going over and palling around with Jaden Daniels. He's talking to Daniels after the game. I know a lot of fans got upset about it. I didn't really care. But there seems to be a proverbial crack in the armor right now in reference to the thought process of Malik Neighbors, and he's almost kind of reached a crescendo where it's like, it's kind of stupid that you brought me in to fix a quarterback.
Who knew?
Who knew that could be the worst thing you could possibly do? Not us. What I mean that's another Joe Shane process. But if you think about it, I mean, how does he turn his attitude around? Because there seems to be a lot of guys right now, even Brian Burns with the release of Nick McLeod. How do you turn this around? Because even Brian Burns says, "Hey, listen, you got rid of my boy. You kicked him out. We didn't kick him out. We needed the money for the salary cap. How do you?" And that's another thing. I know I'm bouncing all over the place because I've been sick, so now I'm feeling better. How the hell do you Dom? You got Nick McLeod, who started 5 games this year, is a special teams demon, and you went to him and said, "Hey, listen, we need you to take a pay cut because we only got at that point in time, I think we only had like $1 million in cap space." And Nick, rightfully so, said, "No, it's in season. You're going to want me to take a fucking pay cut?" Then they release him. It's not like we have this plethora of defensive backs sitting in the trunk somewhere. What is the thought besides financially? And that's what this was. And I know everyone says, "Well, Tim, you got the salary cap wrong." No, I didn't get the salary cap wrong. I forgot to delete a column. I knew we were going to run out of money. And I said, we're probably not going to have any money by the time we go to Germany. But you release a guy who started 5 games. Yeah, he got burned a bunch of times, but you're going to sit there and tell me,
our special teams isn't that good.
And that was going to be the next thing I was going to get to. It's not like we're a special teams demon.
I mean,
explain.
It's like with everything we're doing at the moment. Bad teams do bad stuff.
Hey, listen, we're the best at that.
Yeah, I mean, at least we're good at something. and I think there are other ways you could have found the million, right? I mean, can you shave it off some, a few, share it around a few players. You can find $1 million if you need to. I think cutting McLeod was daft. I mean, is McLeod, going to light up the league? No. Yeah. But as you say, he's a starter on special teams, and he's a genuine starter on special teams. He's one of the better starters on special teams. I mean, it's not saying much, but you've just weakened your special teams again, and we're giving up points on special teams, and you've made it weaker. You're pissing off your star pass rusher because, they get on well, and you send the signal to the team that says, we're not in control. We don't know what we're doing. And that then leads to this, to bring it back full circle, to people like Banks or Neighbours that are unhappy because they feel they're probably better than the team. They feel that they should be on a side competing, and they're not on a side that's competing, but they don't see necessarily how this side is going to compete. And as such, it leads to this sort of attitude. I mean, I think Neighbours will always have an attitude. I think it's sort of one of those star player-ish things. The obvious comparison is Odell Beckham, but it's not uncommon to see big star wide receivers or, pass rushers or, in these big sort of high profile positions having a bit of an attitude. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it's going to manifest itself in a bad way if he becomes unhappy or more unhappy. And it's the same with Banks, as we were just talking about a few minutes ago. And it's worrying. And I think there's a real danger here that Dable and Shane, to use a horrible sort of platitude, or platitude is not the right word, but just one of those sort of cliches. That's the word I'm looking for. They're losing the locker room, right? And once you lose the locker room, there's no way back. You can be the best head coach in the world. If you've lost the locker room, well, you're not getting rid of 30 guys. It's you that's going to go. It's the easier way. I mean, we probably need to lose 30 guys because we're not that good, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm actually still thinking about brunch. Now that I think, I know what I was thinking of. You know what? Just guess. We saved about $1 million and change getting rid of him. What do you think our dead cap number is?
Oh, I haven't looked it up, but it's going to be huge.
No. Dead cap number for dropping McLeod.
Oh, 2 million? 2.5?
1.5.
1.5. I went the wrong way.
$1.5 million. That is our thought process. Germany deserves this hanging out pretzels and beer. You know what? I like Bavarian pretzels.
Tim, I'm going to have to drop because my phone is going to run out of battery.
Oh, all right. Well, I appreciate Dahmer. I appreciate you coming in.
But thank you ever so much for having me on.
You're quite welcome. I have another guest I'm going to bring in right now anyways. So
super. Zach and the other guys in the chat, have a lovely early evening. And Tim, always great to talk to you. I'm glad you're feeling better. And thanks for the plug.
Thank you, Dahmer. I'll talk to you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Wow, excuse me. Thank God I don't have cable. I'll be sleeping in on Sunday. We're going to brunch. Someone's not going to return from Germany with the job if the Giants lose. I agree. Danny Dinks and Dime says, iconic. Both Shane and his GM buddy and Carolina are the two worst teams. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. Fun fact, Los Angeles Rams owners also owns the Arsenal. See, James doesn't know. I'm James. I'm just ruined about who else is going to come in next. Fuck. I'm surprised we have fans who are enjoying the egg handout. Derek says, when released by the Giants, Jones will become a starter for another NFL team and do well. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's dunk on me, friends. Me Freuds. Philosophy Center says the team has helped destroy Tay Banks' confidence, and they pay him off the line. Yeah, they do play him off the line. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Eric says, Derek. No, you guys are talking to each other. Charles Barkley says Giants defense is better this year than last year's. Wink is such a loser. Charles Barkley, you still owe me because I didn't rat you out for what you did at Church Street Station. Derek Jones says, that's of course not the right Charles Barkley. On a winning team, they create turnovers and do other things that will help this team win. I had to wait till you were done picking. You're getting something right.
Yeah, you saw that.
I had to wait. I was gonna click on, but I was waiting what you were doing. I'm like, I can't do that. Put the smoke out, man. You're killing me here.
What up, brother?
What's going on, man? Are you ready for some football?
Oh, some soccer? Yeah. Don said he was starting a new channel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about Arsenal and
And the
sports
Arsenal
overseas.
play at the same time on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Then I am ready for some real football.
I'm ready. I am ready for some football. I wanted to ask you a question because I just asked Dom the question, and I'm a little perplexed by this with Mr. Banks, Mr. Deontay Banks. Hero last year played well as a rookie. Of course, it was on more of an attacking style, off and defense. He dogged it a couple plays, 100%. And I was always the type of player that I would not tolerate someone that did not put in the effort, even in a loss, because of the fact that you were there, either, back in with me, it was that you were there on scholarship. So there's, the school's still paying you to be there and still paying you to play. And as a professional, there should be no way that you should be doing what he did. But no one called out Bobby Okereke because there was a couple plays in that same game that, yes, Bobby Okereke may have been 6-7 yards off the ball, but he stopped hustling. And I saw two plays where he slows up in the middle of the field. Then my thought process was, what if the Giants knock the ball off and you're the trailer and you're 70 yards down because you decided you don't want to run? But he has 11 tackles that game, which is also good because they ran the ball like 70 times. But you have no one calling him out.
No.
But all of a sudden, I'm watching the New York Post and watching the Daily News and all these other places. Deontay Banks is a bust.
Well, well, first off, what up, chat? What's going on, my people? Long time. Good to see y'all in here supporting our brother as we should. I'm going to try to simplify things because
all right, simplify.
Sophomore slump. New defensive coordinator. Maybe he's mad Wink is gone. And also maybe he's just a young kid that needs to learn to mature. All things can be true. Different scheme. It's a great point. It's a very great point. And honestly, he was getting killed in the beginning of the season by fans when he was actually trying. The first 4 games of the year, he was going against top-notch competition as far as who he was being asked to defend. He was going against top-notch wide receivers. I mean, Justin Jefferson being one of them right off the bat.
And CeeDee Lamb and a couple other.
CeeDee Lamb, even Amari Cooper, who's on Buffalo now.
AJ
happy
Brown,
to be out of Cleveland. Devontae Smith. Like, these guys are not bums. So the fact that he was having a hard time, people are like, oh, look at him. I think, again, we overvalue our pieces. And not saying he's not a good player, but I think people were expecting him to be Darrelle Revis. Because if you remember, we signed Adoree Jackson late, but we were going to go into the season with basically a bunch of rookies in our secondary, and he was supposed to lead the attack. And again, he's good only in his second year, So we forgot about the phrase sophomore slump, where some guys take a slight step back because teams have film on them now. They've seen them, And I just think with the Banks thing, it's just a culmination of the team sucking on top of it. And he's starting to have that young guy thing of like, well, if Bobby's not running hard, why do I get called out? And it's a lot of things. I think the scheme thing is actually a really great point that you brought up, changing schemes. And again, we have to remember that there probably were guys on this team that really liked Wink. The guy in Michigan who's taking shots at us.
Michigan Wolverines?
Yes, the guy, our brother T-Brad's guy who's taking shots at us, saying, well, it's better than being 2-7. So I think all things can be true, honestly. He had a rough start to the year going against some top guys, kind of got smoked early, and he kind of just never really recovered. You know, he's had a couple good games in between, but what we were expecting and what we're getting obviously is not matching up. But I think we had our expectations too high, much like with this team overall. Just the ceiling was too high. We got to bring it back down to reality.
I said 5 to 6 wins. So you're saying it should be 2 to 4?
Well, if you look at it now, put it this way: if we don't win in this game in Munich, I would say 5 wins is generous. 5 wins would be like generous, because if you can't beat the Panthers in Germany, I mean, my God, and I don't want to win the game. I don't think it's going to mean anything beating up on a lowly Panther team.
If you look at the remainder games who are scheduled, after the Panther game, of course, we have the bye. We have the Bucks, so that's a loss.
Yep.
We go to Dallas. I don't care how bad Dallas is. I don't care how
they're going to beat us up. They're going to beat us up.
That's going to be a loss. So your next winnable game in my mind is the Saints game. So if you win today or tomorrow, whatever, 2 days, and then you win the Saints game, you have 4 wins. We're not gonna beat the Ravens. We're not gonna beat the Falcons.
No.
Maybe the Colts, depending on the messed up quarterback situation they're in. But you also have a guy in Joe Flacco who threw for 400 yards not more than a couple weeks ago. And maybe the Eagle game, if it means nothing to them in Philadelphia. But the problem is, if the Eagle game means home field advantage in the playoffs, we're going to lose that game. So you're maybe looking at a total of 4 wins.
And you got to remember, it's still Philly. And Nick Sirianni, he's kind of a kooky guy. He may just sit up there and go, I got a chance to stick it to these guys again.
He might pull a Coughlin and just kind of and just keep his guys out there to at least get it up to 45 before he takes his starters out in the second half.
Yeah, you may go to Saquon, hey, I know you didn't want to run it up last time, but hey, why don't you get another crack at these old guys again, your old team? Like, he owes us nothing. He owes us no quarter, as they say back in the day, and he owes us no quarter.
No, he doesn't. Jersey Beater says, Tim, have you tried the deep fried burger from Shannon Rose? No, I have not tried the deep fried burger yet. Next time I head back to the Shannon Rose, I'm going to have to give that a try. Derek wants to know, the Giants were terrible before Daniel Jones. Yes, they were. The defense collapsed this year, and the defense cost us the Commanders game. Oh, Derek.
Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here. Not up in here.
You got to go to time.
You should have.
You got to.
Dag, you should have left him in there for 5 minutes just to ask him which game, Derek. Which game do you think?
Okay, Derek, I'm going to help you because we just put you in timeout. You're not banned. I'm going to help you about the Washington game. There was a play. Let's see here. First of all, he was 4 for 6 for 0 yards, negative 8 total yards passing in the first half.
-8.
I'm not going to mention that. But then there was a play, and I'm trying to think. The Giants were driving. It was in the first half. I believe it was in the first half. Yeah. And a gentleman looped around our left tackle and basically had a free running shot at the quarterback. And had his back to the edge rusher, and he didn't sense any pressure whatsoever. None. As usual. Gets walloped, fumbles the ball. They then take that ball in and score a touchdown. Not the defense, but the offense scores a touchdown. So technically, whatever points Daniel Jones in his 3 touchdowns, you really got to negate one of them because you gave up fucking 7. And there are plenty of passes, like the one to Darius Slayton that he threw into the middle of the field, where he threw it low and behind Slayton, that he literally had to go backwards, falling down to try to catch the ball, and they gave Slayton the drop.
Because that's what we do.
Because that's the way we roll here.
And again, just to simplify things, because I'm big on simplification for the rest of this year, that if your quarterback has a first half of -8 passing yards, you basically have no running game, and yet you're not down by 30, then I would think the defense kept you in the game.
Yeah.
With your quarterback doing, it's not even nothing, because negative is less than nothing for all of you who didn't go to math class. Negative is less than 0 in integers and numbers. So technically, our offense went backwards, and we weren't down 30. So the defense had to be doing something. Just saying. Just saying.
Mike Glenn says the defense is going to make Young look like a top 10 quarterback, giving up one of the highest completion rates against opposing quarterbacks. Bladen said, let's stop being so quick to run off talent and villainize them. Same with Neighbors. Listen, I love Banks still. I'm not going to I have never even villainized him once. I've questioned his, and like I said before, I will never excuse someone that does not give effort.
No, that's easy.
I was never a player of talent. I was always a player of effort. And effort can hide certain deficiencies. Now, when you have extreme talent and then you don't give the effort, then there's an issue. But you're talking about a play here, a play there. We're not talking like he's doing it for a series. We're not talking like he's doing it for a game. We're talking about it that, yeah, he did not give maximum effort on 2 plays I can think of, but there are plenty of guys on that defense that I can point to, and I have, that also did not give maximum effort, but we're calling out the second-year player who we need.
You could literally pull up Kayvon Thibodeau's every single snap he's had as a Giant, and you could literally say a third of his snaps, he doesn't look like he's giving serious effort. A third of his snaps. Seriously.
Now, I think that, listen, James, I think that's crazy. There are really no plays that I can think up the top of my head that Kayvon Thibodeau did not give maximum effort.
I mean, look at that.
I don't know
Look at that. That's an amazing picture. It really is. That's a quarterback, by the way. That's a quarterback. That's a quarterback.
That's like a 4'11. It's like a 4'11 quarterback.
That's a quarterback on what's supposed to be a top flight defensive end that mauls quarterbacks for a living. In an interview he did with Ryan Clark and Shannon Crowder on their podcast, he said, "My job is to go get the quarterback, get him, no matter what, get him. Doesn't look like he was getting him there. It's very simple, guys. It's very simple."
Mike Lynn says the Banks criticism is is slightly unwarranted because he was forced to be the number 1 corner when he is a number 2. I've heard my fault, but I've heard that. Well, he's not really a 1, he's a 2. I'm like, I'm not ready to declare that yet. I gotta. In the Wink system, he was a 1,
and he looked good.
Yeah, let's be honest. In the Wink system, he played like Now, I'm not saying he did it all the time. He played like a 1 though in the Wink system
as a rookie.
So I mean, I'm not gonna. I can't. I usually agree with a lot what you say, Mike, but I can't. That one I can't agree with. I'm sorry. That one I don't agree with. Let's see. Michael says the biggest problem isn't simply Daniel Jones losing for the Giants. He hasn't won a game for us this year. No, he hasn't. Geologic said, even Tim, even James, best to you all. Anyone after 6 years of film still think Daniel Jones can be taken seriously? Logic's fine. You're in Germany.
Oh, that's right. He is. Oh, yeah.
You going to go to the game? Dom says, phone plugged in. Hey, James also says, hey, James, thanks for having me on. Tim, you're very welcome, Dom. Let's see here. Derek says, Jones forces no turnovers. Okay.
The simple, keep it simple. If you have a cornerback that, let's say he never gets any interceptions or fumbles, right? He never does that, but he's always batting down the ball, or he's covering his man so well that they can't even throw him the ball. Do you care about him getting turnovers?
Do you want? I'm gonna read a guy's interception total. This is a yearly interception total, and I want you to tell me if this guy's a shutdown corner. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna go. Here we go. These are the interceptions for this player: 3, 5, 6, 0, 4, 1, 2, 2, 5, 1, 0. Is that guy a shutdown corner?
You talking about Revis?
Yep.
That's there, and I know that because I followed his career pretty. He was one of my favorite players when he was on the Jets. But yes, Darrelle Revis. I knew who you were going to because he was an exceptional, great corner, but he did not get a lot of interceptions because teams didn't throw him the ball.
Right.
Simple.
Now, ask me. This is good. And again, this is the same. It's Darrelle Revis. How many forced fumbles do you think he has his entire career?
Oh, 3.
4.
Damn. Guy got one more in on me. In his entire career, 4.
Entire career. How many sacks do you think Darrelle Revis has in his entire career?
2.
2 sacks. For a guy that's a shutdown corner, how many interceptions did he take back to the house for touchdowns?
Oh, I should know this one too. 2?
3.
Damn.
So the guy's not creating turnovers. He's not recovering. He's not causing fumbles. He's not causing. He's not bringing anything back to the house point wise. But by the logic that we have, no, Revis didn't get. Derek, you're going back in timeout. You're going back in timeout for being stupid.
Oh, what are you
We just read the whole fucking total of his interceptions, and you're like, well, he still gets interceptions. Derek, go watch Chris or go watch Chat Sports or something like that because you're too fucking stupid to be in here. Oh my god! Luckily, I don't have an attitude today. I'm deleting all your comments because you fucking annoy me.
I mean, you literally said he had a year of 0 interceptions. You literally just said that.
Derek. He's had 2 years of 0
interceptions.
He had 2 years of 1. He had 2 years of 2. I had to ban him because he's too fucking stupid to be here. So I mean, and he had a total of I don't remember how many total interceptions did he have in his entire career. For a guy
it's nowhere near what you would think.
29. 29 he had. I mean, could you think about that? 29, and
we don't think anymore.
He's supposed to be he's the lockdown quarter. By the logic that idiot had, he's not a lockdown quarter because he doesn't get turnovers. Where do you think, James, the last Darrelle Revis thing, because you should know this is a guy that's supposed to be your idol. Where do you think in total Darrelle Revis ranks in NFL history in regards to interceptions?
Total, like in NFL, he's I don't know, in the 300s, in the 400s. Like he's nowhere near
247.
No, 300. All right, so I missed. I was off by 53.
Let's see. Xavier Howard has more interceptions. Let's see. Kevin. Let's see. Eric Turner has more interceptions. There's over 300. Sam Huff of the New York Giants has 30. All right. So the flawed logic of this idiot was the fact that, well, you're not a shutdown corner if you don't get interceptions. We just proved then that Darrelle Revis was not a shutdown corner.
That's like the whole, people hate Darius Slayton because he does drop some balls. He does. That's his Achilles heel. He does have some drops. But if I were to sit here and say, Darius Slayton has been our best receiver for like 3-4 years before Neighbors got here, people would be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. That guy's a bum. That guy's not good at all. I got news for you. We're probably gonna have to keep that guy.
Yeah, just for a little bit. Logic Minus, it was actually in here voting for Trump. Always appreciate that. And also going back to Germany and Thanksgiving. Banks is not happy with the current defensive scheme. I don't think he is. I personally do not think he is happy with the scheme. We've talked about that. People are cheering DJ for running over defender, but all I see is a future quarterback injury with $23 million going out the window. Well, don't forget the other $22 million that we owe him no matter what, because he's got a $22 million dead cap number. So we got to remember all that. And I love, that's the other thing I love, James, because I'm a Packers fan. Jordan Love, man. Jordan Love doesn't need to run people over. He just goes around.
No, he just throws the ball like a quarterback.
Throws the ball like a quarterback. Yeah, he gets. I love it because us in Packer Nation that we're complaining that he's throwing an interception in every game, like the last 9 games in a row. But he also throws like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. Daniel Jones. I mean, certain people went buck wild because Daniel Jones ran the ball in with passion in the end zone.
Oh yeah, he trucked over the defender.
And I've said this before, and I've said it a million times before. If you're a defender and you're at that point in the game, the first thing I do is turn around and go, scoreboard, bitch. Don't matter if you ran over anyone. I'm still fucking winning. I'm still running out here with the W. So you may want to feel good about it, but how many games has Daniel Jones won this season?
How many touchdowns has he thrown at home?
2 or 3 now?
I think it's 2. Is it 3? I think it's 2.
I think it's 2. I think it's 2.
2.
At home.
At home.
No, but how many touchdowns has he thrown in a year? Not just counting this year, but last year as well. 2. Still 2.
You want to here? I got a crazy stat for you.
All right.
I guarantee that the what up Sanders? What up Logic, my brother? I want to say the 2 games that the Ravens and the Bengals have played, they will have more combined passing touchdowns in those 2 games than Daniel Jones will have all year. Think about that.
Think about this, people. That you could have had Lamar Jackson.
Oh God! Oh yeah, we have to touch on that. We have to mention that.
You could have had Lamar.
We could have tried.
No, you literally could. I mean, if you want to talk about collusion, and this Lamar Jackson is the poster child for collusion. He was a player that anyone in the league could sign because they did not put the exclusive tag on him.
No, they didn't.
They did not use the exclusive tag. So the Giants could have signed anyone could have signed him, and he went back. Not that I'm going to cry for Lamar Jackson because of the fact that he still got paid, but you look at what they paid Lamar Jackson and what you're paying Daniel Jones. That's
too close.
It's beyond silly. What's up, Mr. Sanders? Let's see. Johnny AB says, wait, some people already want to call quits on Banks after season and a half. That's the other thing I don't get. He's been here.
Good point.
And people want to already quit on him. They say I'm negative. I don't want to quit on him. Lockdown corners don't get interceptions or tackles because the teams don't throw their way.
Oh, wow. Logic. Oh my God. Logic's using Logic. That's why I love you, man.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna burst that bubble a little bit. There's a Giant player that you like, James, that does not have his jersey retired.
Okay.
Do you know his name?
Is he in the secondary?
He's in the secondary.
Is his name Corey?
No, his number's not retired. You took a picture of him. You took a picture. You took his pictures. His first name starts with an E. His last name starts with a T.
Oh, Emlyn Tunnell.
Yes, 79 interceptions. I would consider him a lock.
Yeah, that guy was good.
Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson was a corner before he went to safety. 65 interceptions. I would call him a lockdown. Rod Woodson, same thing. Rod Woodson was a quarter before he went to safety. 71 interceptions. These are guys that are lockdown corners. Hell, fucking Everson Walls at his time when he was at his highlight in his career, has 57 interceptions, was a lockdown corner in Dallas. Arenas Williams, 55. Eric Allen, again, with the Eagles, people forget about him, before he went into safety, was a lockdown corner. Ty Law was a lockdown corner. Deion Sanders, 53, lockdown corner. Champ Bailey, 52, lockdown corner. I mean, I literally can keep going on and on and on. So, I mean, logic, I'm not arguing with you, but I'm just saying, yes, lockdown corners can get interceptions. But by the other gentleman's logic, I'm not even getting that other gentleman's logic
Yeah,
anymore.
no, it's a two-way street because we already proved, like Logic said, I said the same thing, and you proved it with the Revis point that you don't have to get interceptions to be a top-notch corner.
You don't have to get them, but there are lockdown corners that did get interceptions. Banks is going to be fine, said Ron. I think he's going to be fine too. Captain Matumbo says Aziz and Tibbs will screw. We're going to get screwed on either one of those guys. Matthew says, speaking of Malik Willis,
Malik Willis, bring in the.
Oh yeah. I just have to say one thing because I'm feeling better. All those that told me that Malik Willis was a bust, that Malik Willis would never become anything in this league, that Malik Willis was just such a terrible pick. And I know nothing about quarterbacks. I know nothing about the NFL. And I shouldn't, I only wanted him because that one idiot would say, I only wanted him because he was black. Oh, and I should never.
That makes me laugh so much.
I was told that I should never basically chart quarterbacks anymore because of the fact that I was so terrible at it. And I'm not trying to be mean about this, but for all those people, and I don't want to sound like I'm sour grapes or anything, but fuck you. Oh, okay, go on. Bring in the boom, but we couldn't draft him with the 3rd round pick. We couldn't send a 7th round pick. The GM, my GM for the Pack, looks like a fucking genius. He sends over a 7th round pick, saves his season because Willis has the same amount of wins as Love and less games started.
But not just that, he had the sense also to be like, well, I think it's time to move away from Rodgers and make it the Jordan Love era. Oh, Jordan's hurt. Like you said, let me go out and get a guy to fill in and a viable backup. Oh, wow. I'm 2 for 2. That's great. Wow. I wish our GM was shrewd like that. No, he just makes deals with his best friend. Yay.
It doesn't. It still gives them an extra 7th round pick. Let's go Giants, losing for the win in Germany. James says everyone's bashing Banks. Look at the young guy. He had to learn 2 different systems and 2 schemes in 2 years. Year 3 will have to learn a 3rd defense scheme. What Banks is not playing well. I think the only thing with Banks is just this. And I think, we talked about this. You weren't here, but we talked about it with Dom. There were wink guys in that locker room. And there probably still are wink guys. And we go back to the fact that Wink nearly broke all the ribs of Joe Shane after they drafted Banks with that hug. Because Wink knew he could use Banks in his system. And you go to the bend not break system. And like I said, I give Shane Bowen all the credit in the world for changing his philosophy. But it's still not the same system.
No.
And I think the issue is this: you turn around and you put these guys in the situation, and to the other James's point, you expect them to be the same player when they're not playing the same way.
Well, and just to piggyback on what my other brother is saying, James, we made so many excuses for Jones playing with different coordinators and different coaches over the years. This kid, and it's just his 2nd year, is in the same situation. So how come he's not getting the same slack? Cornerback is one of the hardest positions to play.
I would
in
say
the NFL.
Quarterback. I think a cornerback is the 2nd hardest position to play in the NFL.
Especially in today's NFL where it's all about throwing the ball and passing, and you can't get real physical with people like you used to back in the day. So again, that's another fact that people probably don't know. Cornerback is really hard to play. You don't just go out there, line up with the guy, and say, follow him around the field. It's a little more complex than that.
Mr. Sanders wants to know, the Panthers want to move on from Bryce Young. Do you think it'd be smart to grab him or go for – no, I wouldn't take Bryce Young. I thought Bryce Young was going to be something come out of college. I thought there was some red flags, but I thought he was going to be more than a solid pro. I didn't think he should be drafted as high as he did. I always like CJ Stroud better because of the fact that I think that there's a difference between playing football in college and having that translate over to the pros. And I always thought CJ Stroud was a better prospect in reference to the pros, but I thought Bryce Young was going to be a Pro Bowler. I did. I think everyone did. But he always had that slight build, and you looked at him and you kind of were just like, and it almost you looked at Kyler Murray when he first came out, and you kind of said, okay, Kyler Murray is an Oompa Loompa, 100%. He is. He looks the part, and he looks like his head's too big for his body, and his helmet doesn't fit.
Yeah. He's got a little space balls going on.
He's a mushroom. But you saw something there that you're like, okay, that can translate into the NFL, even at his size. And when I looked at Bryce Young, even though one of the videos I said was, I think he'll be a Pro Bowler, but there is just something in reference to his size, his throwing motion, and if you looked at some of his decision-making processes, that he might struggle a little, but I didn't think he was going to struggle like this. But I would not do a 90s, early 2000 Knicks who would always go back and take that guy that was drafted 10th overall in the first round, and we can fix him. We can make him. We could do this.
We did that a lot.
We did that a lot with the Knicks when we destroyed our salary cap. It never worked out. So I listen, if I want to make a mistake, I want to make my own fucking fresh mistake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The only thing I will say is that I don't think that coach over there is very good. I really don't. That guy's unproven. I don't know why, And the other thing is, not even forget Bryce Young. Again, just keeping it simple. I don't want to do any more deals with this guy's best friend. Yeah. I feel like his friend is going to get the better of us again. And again, just like with the Thibodeau thing, why does this guy want to get rid of his best player? And then why would this guy want to get rid of a quarterback he's only had a year? What up, Kareem? Salute, King. But I don't want this guy. That would be like me and you trading baseball cards back in the day if we were young and we were on the playground. And the other kid was like, hey, man, I'll give you this Willie Mays, man. And I'll give you this Willie Mays. And you could just give me Daniel Murphy. And I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go trade with Tim because he's my friend. And I'm gonna get screwed.
Well, is it a Daniel Murphy rookie card?
It doesn't matter. I said Willie Mays.
I was being facetious.
Oh yeah. Okay, you look serious for a second. I can't tell.
There we go. Here's a good one. Someone sent me this card. This was actually a good one. I didn't even know it was worth money. It's a Chris Mullen.
Oh, Chris.
It's a Chris Mullen, but it's the 86 series, which has the 85 series, which has the Jordan rookie card.
Oh wow.
So,
wow.
For those that do not know, I've said it before. I have 2 unopened Fleers packs over here from 1985.
There's some gold in there.
Well, here's the thing. They're worth like $1,000 unopened.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I hate those rules with the collector
thing.
It's like
open it,
and there's a card in. If
I open it, and there's the Jordan rookie card, mint. Knowing my luck, the fucking gum will be stuck to the front of it. Mint rookie card, yeah. Then I got $20,000, if not more.
Easy. That was like $20,000, easy.
If I open it, that $1,000 pack is now worth $4.75. And I'll have to eat the 30-year-old gum, wherever I hold the gum.
Well, those gums.
I'm not into math today. So
those gums were rough, though. Those gums were rough out of those packs, and we ate them.
Do I take the shot and do I open it? And I think I should try to open it online.
Oh, that would be interesting. Do an online reveal. It'd be like QVC for men.
Yeah, let's see here. You can't. They're in right behind Tiki. You can see it right. There's the anniversary Super Bowl cards there. So right between there. So
now you got some gold in there, man. I know. I don't know who, but
there you go.
There's some gold in them packs.
I have it. There's 2 boxes. I have them in the hermetically sealed in these plastic boxes. So there's one right there, and there's the other one here. You can even zoom in. I love this camera. You can zoom in. It's like Terminator, man. So right there, we got him. So do we open him up on air? Do we go and open that liquid gold or that liquid paper plastic or whatever the fuck it's
I
called?
was gonna say there's some gold in them packs. There's some gold in them there, Hills.
The problem is this: if I open it up and there's nothing in there, then I'm stuck with opening it up.
That would suck. That would really suck if you open all that. That would be like really like. So you guys went out of business.
That's why you guys are no longer in business. Logic's fine. I said, okay, Sam, I know I'm Logic. I wasn't. Logic's fine. Listen, I wasn't being a total dick to you. I was just letting you know that, and I was kind of more letting you know from that other idiot, not you, that was on here about that. You know, a lockdown corner can't have interceptions. So I mean, that's all. Matthew, what do we got here? Oh, did you say hello?
Yeah. I said, "What up, Kareem?"
He comes out. Excuse me. He came out of his way to go to the Shannon Rose bar, him and his buddy. And you know what? This first question it was to me after we said hello.
What?
Where's James?
What? Kareem's a good dude, man. That guy's very knowledgeable.
Where's James? That was his first response.
Nah, he's a good brother, man. I had some real world stuff to take care of, unfortunately, but I missed my brother Tim. I miss being there. Miss seeing Mrs. Online, Big Blue, and all my brothers and sisters who turned up there for him. I'm proud of y'all, and I'm proud of my brother, man. I really am. He's a lone soldier out here. He's got a couple people with him in the platoon, but it's a small group. We're not even the Dirty Dozen. It's a small group.
It was great because the people that came out, because it was also the it was the World Series. You had the Knicks at home. And, it was great because I did get to meet some people. Like I said, I got to see people that I hadn't seen in a little bit. So that, it was great. And some people brought some people out that I got to meet were also fantastic. I think, I think it was great that, I literally gave away Super Bowl rings to most of the people that showed up. So I'm glad I was going to give them away. I was going to give away to different people in the bar, but I was like, screw that. I'm going to give them the people that I know that showed up, that showed up just for me. So it looks like I greatly appreciate everyone that did come out and everyone that, it was a fun time. It was interesting. We've been asked to do it again. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't made that decision yet, but we'll kind of.
Great.
We'll kind of figure that out. Captain Matumbo says, "Do we still have Jersey Shore soundboard? The only time glory is through." Yeah, we do still have it. I loved Mark Collins. I used to love Mark Collins. I think Mark Collins was an underrated Giant. Don't like the fact that he left and went to Kansas City and became a Pro Bowl safety. So,
as you know, everybody leaves here and flourishes. That's just our thing.
I saw this one too, Sir Foul Play of Brooklyn. Sorry, Big Tim. Sorry I couldn't make it out to Clifton. Yeah, there was a couple people that said they were going to go and the fucking didn't. You're dead to me. Is what I would say if I was being serious.
Sounded like some Godfather there right there. He's dead to us. He's no more.
Listen, man, it was a weird night to go out because, like I said, it was the World Series and it was a Monday. So I just appreciate everyone that came out and everyone that hung out in the chat. We had a good chat going on too. A legitimate knock on Brian Burns, Banks, and the rest of the Giants defense. They don't get their head turned around. The Giants defense has an interception this year. Does the Giants secondary?
Yeah. Didn't we get one in the Cleveland game? Oh, that was a fumble.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if we have interceptions. Where's Zach Attack? Zach, look that up.
I want to say we do.
Mr. Sanders has got to go. Blackbird, what's up? What else I got? Shane believes he is the smartest person in the room. We all know that's me. Tim, what was your webcam's name again? Really, dude? Really? Come on, man. I gave it to you. It is the Insta 360. It is the Insta 360. You wrote it down. Him and his boy do a podcast together. Kareem and his boy do a podcast together. So,
I'll check that out, Kareem.
Yeah, what is Kareem? What's the name of the podcast again?
Yeah, what's your name? Put it up there. so Tim can put it up.
Put it up there. Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. Let's see here. Logic's trying says, James, behind your shoulder, is that a custom exhaust for Honda Civic hatchback?
Yo, you're a little yo, Logic. I love you, man. You're a little too. You got Hawkeyes back there? You got Hawkeyes back there? Because I don't got no 360 zoom on this. So, but yeah, that's an exhaust back there. I got a lot of car people in my family. That was my cousin. Shout out to Devin DPG. He's in Atlanta right now. But yeah, we do a lot of this. I am in the garage. We actually use it. Unlike a lot of men today, we actually use the garage as the garage. You know, there's tools in here and things. So yeah, good eyes, my brother. Good eyes.
But what is it for? What's if it's for a Honda Civic hatchback?
Oh. No, it's not for me. It's when my cousin's car. He had a car. He was dibbadallying with. It was I forgot. I had to think. It'll come to me in a second. You know, short-term memory. What year it was? The Honda, but. He's a little older now, so we don't, you know, he's more professional. He's in the business world, but he definitely knows his cars a little bit better than me. Well, him and my uncle and my grandfather were the gearheads. I'm a little bit gearhead too, but not as much as them.
No problem, brother. Next time.
No problem. That's the name of the podcast?
I was going to say.
No problem, brother. Next time.
Here you go. There's the name of the podcast.
All right, copy, bro.
Brew Bros. Oh, I like that. Let's see here. Logic finds last night. I love Jason Sayer as a player. Back-to-back season and injuries, and he never the same again. No, you don't put back your star player to return fucking punts.
Yeah, that was dumb. We screwed him up. And I liked his wife or his girl. Forgot her name, but I liked her too.
Angie Harmon.
There we go. Miss Harmon. Yeah. But Jason, he just,
I only know that because she was on LA Law.
That's what it was. Yeah, there was some lawyer show.
She was on Law
and Order. Yeah.
Mrs. Online Big Blue is done. She's downstairs. So I'm going to have to check out because we're getting ready to go out to eat. So I want to, and everyone go to Brew Bros and check it out as well. Give them a like, give them a thumbs up, give them a follow, give them all that fun stuff. No live stream on Sunday because I'm not getting up freaking early to live stream a game that I'm not going to be up for because, you know, I also have a lot of things to do. The paint needs to dry. I got to watch the grass grow. I might have to go to brunch. You know, a lot of stuff going on there. But I want to thank James. I want to thank the Big Diamond for coming in. I want to thank everyone in the chat. Again, this is Tim Stewart, Straight Powered by my Big Blue LLC. I want to drop it in. I want to say hello to everyone. Check out the new video. Check out the new sponsor, Yiso Fitness, coming up next week. And you know what, guys? Have yourself a good night because we are out of here. Peace.